How do you stop procrastinating?
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
We asked you to ask us questions that we could give you advice for on Facebook and Twitter. Some questions came in. Now, I don't know why you're asking us questions. I don't know what we've done to give you the idea that we're qualified to give advice.
Well, we said ask us for advice.
Oh, okay.
We asked them to ask us for advice.
I just thought all of a sudden people were like, Rhett and Link, they look a little bit older and wiser these days. So let's just start asking them questions.
I hope not.
You mean we asked them to ask us questions?
Yes,
Well,
Rhett.
that kind of seems stupid.
Well, it's happened, and now we're going to follow through with it. And the advice is going to be great, by the way.
You better believe it is.
Starting with procrastination.
Becky F. Folkerts says,
Never heard of her.
how do I stop procrastinating?
Well, I don't know, Becky. We'll answer it tomorrow. Get it? Get it? I made a procrastination joke.
That was excellent.
At the top. Okay, so...
You're a comedic genius.
I mean, Becky, there's some things, and for those of you who vicariously through Becky are procrastinating, you need help with that, there's some things that you already know that you're not doing.
Yeah, I mean, obvious stuff like make a list.
Deadlines.
Get a friend to hold you accountable. Get rid of your distractions.
Just get a friend to hold you.
Get offline.
Get in the real world. Get in the task-oriented, let's get stuff done kind of world.
Make a tattoo. Tattoo yourself permanently with the things that you need to do.
Now you're just making stuff up. That's not even good stuff.
Okay. So there's the obvious stuff.
So we're taking the position that you procrastinators out there, you know what you should be doing, you're not doing it. There's fear of failure. There's psychological things happening. It may involve laziness. You may need to address those issues. These are things we can't help you with here.
But here's what we can do. Because I think Becky F. Folkerts, what you need to do to stop procrastinating. But we're going to give you something very special. We're going to give you a little piece of video that we're about to make right now on GMM to help you with your procrastination problem. And you can take this and use this. You can play it to yourself every single morning. You can put it on a repeat on some sort of screen in your room.
And anyone else can use it. You don't have to be Becky F. Folkerts.
But especially this is going to work if you're Becky F. Folkerts.
Here it goes. It's about to happen. Press record now.
Listen here, Becky F. Folkerts. You, Becky, have a problem.
You're a procrastinator.
And it's embarrassing, Becky F.
You're
Folkerts.
embarrassing your loved ones. The people who expect you to get stuff done, they're like, oh, yeah, Becky, look at her. She's not getting it done.
The Folkerts name is on the line here. The Folkerts reputation is on the line here, Becky F. Folkerts.
The F. Folkerts believe in you, and they want you to change your ways.
Grandpa Folkerts is rolling over. He's probably not dead. Great-great-grandpa Folkerts is rolling over in his grave because you're an embarrassment to the family.
But Grandpa F. Folkerts can roll back over, and he can say, you know what? She's changed. She started following through on stuff, and she's making a difference in the world because she's followed through with her list.
And that's what being a Folkerts is all about.
Folkerts is the F before it doesn't stand for fail, and Folkerts doesn't mean fail in another language.
I think we can
Does
stop.
it?
I think she's got enough. She's got plenty to do with that. She can plenty. Anybody named Becky F. Folkerts could use that.
I feel like the empowerment quotient of our show has just gone through the roof.
Yeah. Valerie Geese asks on Facebook, what's a good way to choose a restaurant to visit when eating out with your family? When asked where they want to eat, everyone always says, I don't care. This is a problem. Everyone is familiar with this.
Common problem here. Now, first of all, I always care. So to have friends around me that don't care about where they eat that's a gift. Because then you get to decide. But what is actually happening when people say they don't care? What they're really saying is, well, I do care, but I don't have a developed opinion. So whenever you make suggestions, I'm just going to be like, meh.
Well, incidentally,
meh.
Let me tell you that a restaurateur out there, or two of them, decided that this was a very common phenomenon.
Okay.
And in New London, North Carolina, you're familiar with New London. It's a lot like the old London, but it's in North Carolina. And they opened up the I Don't Care restaurant and grill.
That is brilliant.
But now it's closed. So apparently it wasn't too good of an idea. It seemed like a great idea, but apparently he didn't know how to run a
Where you want to go? I don't care. Okay, we'll be there in 5 minutes.
There's a restaurant, there's a I Don't Care Bar and Grill in Omaha, Nebraska, apparently, that has like 2.5 stars on Yelp. So apparently they're not, you got a great idea, you got to execute, you got to follow through, I don't care.
What do they serve at I don't care? I don't know.
I don't really care.
I serve I don't know and I don't care.
Maybe that's what. Have you been advising them? Maybe that's why their Yelp reviews are so bad.
Now you make a good point about Yelp because I know that you made a commitment, and it's a good commitment that you don't eat at places that have less than 3.5 stars, 4 stars.
Sometimes
on Yelp.
Sometimes I'll do a 3.5 stars on Yelp, but I'm always disappointed unless it's a chain. You got to know that people are going to rank a chain low because they don't like chains. But if it's a non-chain restaurant, I think the idea here is it doesn't have to be Yelp. It could be Urban Spoon. You should never make a group decision about eating in a restaurant that you've never been at without consulting an app. I'm sorry. You may think that this is totally relying on technology too much, but the fact is that the collective masses are almost always right about what they think about things, especially food, because a group of people who rank an experience at a restaurant are taking everything into account. You shouldn't be going in blind, people. You got to use an app to help you make a decision. That's the first thing.
Absolutely, that applies when traveling. When you're not in your hometown or when you're not in the place where you move and groove, but when you're near your home base, you pretty much know what's there. I think that you need to have a list on your phone for this case that's just like, okay, where you guys want to eat? And I'm just going to go through my list here. Chicken, steak, burger, fish, hero,
ding, 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 ding,
waffle,
and then the people say, ding, ding,
fish.
ding, ding.
Fish. You sure you don't want fish?
I think it should be, and every car should be equipped with a smell emitter, and it should go through like a wheel of smells, and so it emits the smell of fish or the smell of burgers or smell of chicken into the car, and then when everybody's like, yeah, I do want to eat that. You know what? We should be advising like the luxury car people, because people pay anything for these cars with all these special contraptions. There needs to be a how to choose a restaurant smell emitter, and it should be on a dial, and it should be like, all right, fish.
And
chicken?
My initial question is, where do you get the smells from? One, I was thinking, this is a whole new business we can open. We could create the smells for the Cadillacs. But
I don't want to be creating smells.
It's easy.
I just want to be coming up with ideas.
All we got to do is get those jelly beans that taste like all the different stuff.
Oh, that's good. This would be like a cross-promotion deal.
No, we're going to do it under the table.
Okay.
Under the table, we're going to get them jelly bellies.
Don't we have something?
We're going to melt them in the Cadillac.
Don't we have something for the boulder? The boulder of, what do we call it? The mythical mail boulder continues to grow and
right
continues
here.
to
Hold
spin
that up.
on command in the background. Spin, please.
We ask you to mail stuff to the mythical mail boulder. We glue it on there. It gets big. It's going to get really large, and we're going to do something amazing with it. Trust us. Christina Ward and Zach Van Bibber in Martinsville, Indiana said, we made this controller for you. It is a fully functional PS2. Hold it up. PS2 controller made specifically for us. We designed it for the mythical mail boulder, but it is fully functional if you decide to use it. Obviously, the R and L are for you guys. Thanks for pointing that out. The design on the sticks is supposed to bring the wheel of mythicality to mind. We do hope you will be willing to acknowledge our effort and art. We are very much willing to acknowledge your effort and art.
It's kind of Christmassy on the this part.
And you know what time it is?
Hi, I'm Alexis from Northern Kentucky. It's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Bam! I'm getting better at moving this wheel over, but I'm not great at it yet. Here we go. Be sure to click through at the end of this episode to Good Mythical More. That's the show after the show where things just fall apart beautifully.
Rhett and Link become helicopters.
Oh, yeah, I got a weird sensation coming over.
Me too. Whoa, it's very strange.
Whoa! Gaining altitude. Totally helicoptering.
I don't know how to make a helicopter noise.
Look at this.
That should be painfully obvious. Using exclamation points in like an email, it's like, hello, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well.
And you know what? You seem a little crazy. If a person talked like this all the time.
I do.
Oh, I'm asking a question.